Hey everyone, actors, industry professionals, how are you? Hey, I forget to ask this in a lot of videos, but if you want to know, if you want to stay hip to the skip, there's a little red subscribe button under the window here. I would love it if you take your mouse cursor and click it and thumbs down the video if you hate it. And, if you like it, of course, there's the other one too. That one's nicer. I want to talk about why it's important for actors to know about production in this video. This one's an important one. A lot of actors I speak to just want to act, and I get it. Just enjoy the... everybody enjoys it for other reasons, but, really just the being other characters, exploring, living through other eyes and, telling stories and all that stuff. But I find that a lot of actors are actually passionate about production. They might just be intimidated by it. They don't know what to do. They think, I don't have any gear, I don't know how to use a camera, I don't know how to edit, so I'm not a filmmaker, I'm an actor, I'm an artist. Well, you don't need to know all that stuff to be a producer and to create something. And the reason it's important that you do know about production, and not just know about production, but actually actively produce, is that at some point in your career, you're going to realize that everybody does it for a reason. Like everybody. Bryan Cranston, such an amazing artist. Yep, produces, directs. Angelina Jolie, such a great career as an actor, produces, directs. Leo DiCaprio produces, directs. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Will Smith, Melissa McCarthy. Everybody, come on, everybody. Why is that? Well, you're an artist. You have stories in you. You have things to say. You have value to give. Are you going to wait for some chance encounter every single time? Oh, this is the perfect role for me? Consider this. There's, let's say, and these numbers aren't right, but say there's 100 projects being cast. How many of those are actually things that you even like? Just as a consumer, that you would even really care to watch. If you're an avid professional consumer of movies, like Tarantino, yeah, all of them. But most of us are not like that. 70% of them, that's somebody who really, has a broad taste. Anything from horror to action to children's movies to animations to all these different things, right? So what, 20% maybe are even along the lines of what you would be sort of into? And then how many of those projects are actually things that you would really be excited about being on? If you're not a working artist, then you could probably say, well, all of them because I just like acting. Yeah, but if you had a choice, would you be on all of them? How many of those are actually going to be good and have good scripts? And fulfill you and do what you need them to do, not just the satisfaction of being on set. Let's say you could choose to be on set. Let's say it was a choice. What would you pick? Probably the fewest of those projects. Out of those, how many are you actually right for? Probably even less. So people realize that over time. And so there's a difference between making your money as an actor, taking all these different jobs that you need to take to make a living, and then transitioning to the point of where you're successful enough to be able to just take the jobs that you would like to take, to then starting to realize, I think I just kind of want to do my own things. And if something amazing comes around, I'll do it. But in the interim, I'll just do my own stuff because I have all these different things I want to explore. And so self-production begins for a lot of actors after that part of the journey when they finally come to realize that. So I have this whole thing about manifesting who you would like to be and who you are now, right? So in my opinion, you're version 1.0 of yourself right now, no matter where you are in your career. You have certain goals and aspirations. And they seem distant and foreign and far away. And version 1.0, just with the mindset, the capabilities, the knowledge that version has, they're not able to be the version that you would like to be. They have to evolve into that and grow into that. And if you don't take measurable, actionable steps towards that, you're really just relying on luck and lightning in a bottle to reach your version 2.0. So what can you really do? Like, I call this hacking your reality. If you think and truly think of where you want to be in your life, as an actor and as a creative, as a professional, financially even, in your personal life, with your marriage, whatever it is, your relationship, you can't think about being there as the person you are now. The person you are now needs to change to be able to be in that person's situation. Broke Daniel isn't going to make the same decisions as wealthy Daniel. Single Daniel isn't going to make the same decisions as married with children Daniel. Successful, struggling artist Daniel isn't going to make the same decisions and choices as successful, respected artist Daniel. So how do you hack that, right? And I can't go into this in this short little video into too much depth, but part of it is really writing down the things, not just that you want, but the actions that you know you would have to take to actually be there. So you start behaving and creating actions for yourself and doing the things that version 2.0 would already do. So if your name is Sally, Sally has no idea about production. She's a struggling actor who barely gets auditions, and when she does, they're not the right fit. But she takes them because she needs the money, because she makes her money working at a bank 40 hours a week. And she hates that job. That's not where you want to be. Sally wants to live in the Hollywood Hills with a family as a working artist, making good money and being respected in the industry and fulfilling the types of characters that she would like to fulfill and tell stories that she would like to tell and share her gift with the world. Doing what Sally 1.0 does every day is going to keep Sally in version 1.0. But if Sally 1.0 starts doing what version 2.0 would be doing, that's hacking your reality. And that's starting to behave like the successful you, and it's going to move you in that direction. It's like reality suddenly thinks, well, wait a minute, Sally's supposed to be here, but she's behaving like this, so maybe I misplaced her, and reality starts moving you in the right direction. So actors produce their own stuff at a certain point. They take control of their own careers. They behave in a certain way. They have networks. They have connections. They have joy. They are actually really, generous and open. They are not jealous of others. All these things that come with being in a certain place and being confident of where you are and knowing how you got there, they dictate your actions. And so how does that all reflect into self-production? Well, if you're, so let me just bring this all together now. You're an actor, and maybe you have self-produced some short films or whatever, but you supplement your income, or you make a little bit of money with acting, and or maybe you're actually able to sustain yourself as an actor, but you're getting, the occasional guest star and a lot of co-star roles and the occasional independent feature supporting role, maybe a lead once in a while. But you're making, 50, 60 grand a year. And that's good. But you got to be careful there with the amount of money that you put into your own productions, because every time it sort of takes a hit. So you're only able to produce, a short film or something every once in a while. And short films don't make money. So what are the short films for? Well, they're to beef up your portfolio, to maybe mix and network and mingle at film festivals with producers, to practice your craft of storytelling. They're little playgrounds for you to boost your reel, to show more characters, to become more professional, to build a team around you, and to go out there, fish for some laurels and network, right? That's valuable. That's better than money, in my opinion, if you do it right. But you can only do that so often. And if you never work in production outside of just those couple of short films you do with the limited people that you know from the occasional set that you're on, you also never truly get used to practicing the craft of producing, and you don't really get so good at it. And every time you produce something, it's sort of a liability, and you need to sort of weigh your options and like, but I need a new transmission, but I really want to make this short, and then you got to beg, borrow, steal, and do it for like as cheap as you can. And my production opinion is that it needs to be, as much money as you have, you should put into your productions, because the bigger you can make them, the better. And the more talented the people are that you can bring on board. So my honest opinion, I hate saying honest opinion, my honest opinion, honestly, somebody made a comment in another video. It's true. When somebody says, like, to be honest with you, they're probably about to say some bullshit. So my humble opinion is that if you don't live and breathe this industry all the time, you're doing yourself a disservice. You shouldn't be working a 9-to-5 for something that has nothing to do with this industry. And ideally, what you would be doing is not fringe work or low grade work. Like, PAing on sets and all that stuff. Yeah, fine. But like, what are you going to get? $100, $150, $200? Like, you need to make money. You need to make money. And you shouldn't be in some office somewhere pushing papers either. Dealing with distribution and stuff. Okay, it's nice. If you're an assistant to a distributor or whatever, like, you get some knowledge there. Cool. But I would suggest producing, building teams, creating content. Now, how do you make money with that? Well, you do it as a service for a while or always to create consistency. And I go in depth. I have a whole program about that, Draces. I really encourage you, if you haven't seen the video, to go to dreamreachmedia.com/Draces, DRAESIS. I'll post a link. Go there and look at what I mean, right? It's what I do. It's what I teach people to do, and the reason I'm so I advocate this so much is because think about the strategy here. This is what we do in the program, right? So to give you a little bit of transparency. Now, it's much more complex than that. There's a mentorship element involved, and there's all sorts of other things in a community and everything. But like, the gist of it is, you understand and create a fundamental base as an actor for like a strategy and sort of like a branding, not like a cheesy sort of gimmicky branding thing, but like understanding yourself and your persona as an actor, right? Like your essence. So we go through and in depth, and we make sure that you understand that, and then that sets your trajectory as an actor, right? So you know where you're heading, because one of the biggest things, there's something in there that I call the Dream Life Worksheet, right? Where we really define your goals, and it's a very extensive worksheet. You define things, because when you define things, you define version 2.0, then you can reverse engineer that into actions. And there are steps that you take every day, right? So you align your main goal, which is the acting, Oscar-winning actor, big movie star, series regular, whatever it is that you're looking for as an actor, as sort of your, vanity achievement outside of the passion of the craft. You set that goal. And then, as you progress, you first of all go through and you create a scrappy film, what I call it. It's a little short that you do. We go deep into content development. How is good content actually born? Where do the ideas come from? How can you farm them out of your spine and deeper than your heart? Just pull them out and get good ideas. And then how do you craft those into like entertaining short bits that you can use to, submit to festivals or put on your reel or whatever, and eventually evolve into feature films and stuff if you would like. But then you go through the process. You do your little iPhone movie or whatever, edit it on your laptop. You don't need to buy any equipment at all. It's about the process from development through pre-production, planning, production, post-production. So you've done something kind of scrappy all by yourself, so you understand the process. And then you never should do that again. Then you start building your company identity. What is it that you would do as an individual, as a company, using what I call the APR method? Okay, the actor ambitions, the personal passions, and the resources that you have available to you. So we triangulate in a very complex, in-depth worksheet how to discover something that you can do using production and maybe marketing to fulfill a part of you that might be outside of acting, something that you're passionate about. Say you're into social justice, or you like helping dance studios, or whatever it is, like dance, some passion that you have that can, after you've branded your actor personas, inform those personas because they're somewhat related to who you are. Right now, this is getting a bit complex, and I might be going into too much detail already. But so you understand how everything in your life also informs your personalities as an actor, right? So if you play a lot of sort of detective types, working with lawyers and stuff, it'll do you good because you'll see sort of insight, you'll pick up lingo, you'll hear about cases, they'll inform, those things. So we try to build a system that informs those characters, and every little thing that you do pushes it further. You're not wasting time in an office. And you start creating content that's a solution to a problem for somebody in a specific field, right? So for me, I do high-end content for actors. That's one of the things I do, right? I have other endeavors. I do movies. I do commercials. I do all these other things, and you should be auditioning and doing all that stuff at the same time. It's what you do with the rest of your time. And then through that come relationships, and you're known as somebody who creates content, right? So you build your team, you create that solution, you build a proof of concept, and you sort of specialize in a field, and then you can repeat that for 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 clients, and they pay you regularly or they pay you as one-offs, but you have a system to generate money and to hire and commission that team that you've built. As a producer, again, you're not going out, you're not filming, you're not editing, you're not writing, you're not doing those things yourself. You're managing these productions, you're the producer, you're originating them, and you're keeping these people busy. Now what does that do? Now you have a team of people that you hire all the time, and now you've gotten your company to a certain level, and you're producing content that you're actually passionate about, not some drab corporate crap that you don't want to do. You don't have to do something you don't want to do. Just like you shouldn't audition for a movie that you don't want to be on. But you've built a system that everything around it in your life, everything is sort of pushing you in that direction, in that proper direction. And then over time, not that much time, honestly, between 6 months to a year, you can start pulling away from your day job. You can start shifting over into just full-time producing, because now you've created a consistent, predictable system for yourself that's making you money and keeping a team active. And now you can scale that up just slightly, because remember, you're one person. You don't have huge overhead. You don't need an office, a studio. You don't need any of that. You don't need gear, nothing. You're a producer. And I know huge producers, they don't own a camera. And you start reinvesting some of that capital in your budget plan into creative short-form productions regularly that inform your acting career more and more. You could do one of these every month. Think about what would it mean if you had a new short film every month, adding a new scene to your reel, doing something new, putting a new concept out there, or not a new short film every month. How about a feature a micro-budget feature that you produce with your team every year or every 2 years? So now maybe suddenly you are in film festivals as an executive producer or producer of a feature film that you're also starring in. And maybe that film wins a couple of laurels, puts you in a conversation with somebody, gets a distribution deal. Who knows what'll happen? What I can say is that none of that would happen if you're working in an office 40 hours a week and you're going out and you're taking the occasional audition that your agent gets you and you're on Actors Access and casting networks and stuff, auditioning. It could happen. It could happen eventually. It could never happen. But don't you think that there's this like massive gap between auditions and opportunities that you could be filling with your own stuff, with building your team, making money with productions, creating real, like good scripted content that benefits you as an actor, creating opportunities for others, and maybe even staying outside of major markets. Like if you build that little ecosystem around you, you never even have to come to LA. You don't, you could, but you don't have to. And maybe you'll find satisfaction in just doing that. There's so many options now for distributing that, maybe when you think really enough about why you want something, you might discover that you don't even really want to be on a massive Hollywood film. That'd be nice, but you're perfectly happy with your YouTube channel or your online show on maybe you can sell something to Hulu over time or whatever. Maybe you can just be completely independent. I mean, Tyler Perry just broke off and did his own thing. So did Clint Eastwood. Like, I keep going back to the same examples, but there are so many more that eventually just say, you know what? I'm just going to do it my way. It's 2021 soon. You can do it your way now. The means are there, and there's a system to help you get there. It's called Dracis. This is not a commercial for that. This is to help you, to provoke your thought, because I think that there's a lot of like just uncertainty of like, what is this? Why would I want to do that? Well, this is why you want to do that. Take matters into your own hands. Even if you're successful, why would you depend on other people? It seems pardon me for saying this, but it seems a little stupid to just like where else do you just sit around and wait for other people if you don't have to do that? If that's like I don't know. It just seems really I'm sorry for saying stupid. It's not stupid. It's helpless. And you need to be aggressive in this field, in this industry. Aggressive and proactive and a producer of content and of value and of goodness. You can't get good without practice. And practice makes perfect, right? So give yourself more opportunities to practice, get better quicker, and take matters in your own hands. So hopefully that clarifies a few things. And I hope that inspires you. And if you're interested, first of all, share this with people that you might think would find value in this. Like it, hate it, comment, ask me questions. I'm an open book. I'll keep making YouTube videos, Yeah, it's a paid thing. Of course it's a paid thing. Why would I give that away for free? I'm donating, I'm putting my time into it. Like, I'm busy. I have movies and other things to do too. So, if you want free info, just subscribe to the YouTube channel. But, let me know what you think and stay. And I'm rambling now because I don't know how to finish this video. So bye.